Colin here, founder and CEO of SmartBox Web Marketing. Thanks for joining our Patient Attraction podcast. Now for today's Throwback Thursday, I'd like to share 3 easy things that will get you more press coverage. This simple but critical advice will make a big difference in your practice. It has for dentists that we work with. Enjoy this popular episode from 2014, and don't forget to check out tomorrow's Flashback Friday. Do you want more press online to drive your search engine rankings through the roof? A new report from American Journalist shows you how. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, and coming up, I'm going to decipher it for you. Hey everyone, Colin here again. And I want to do a quick follow-up to yesterday's podcast. I didn't originally intend to do this one today, but when I came across this report, I wanted to inject this in here on the tail end of yesterday's. If you missed yesterday's podcast, I talked about how to get your press release syndicated and seen by the biggest pool of your potential patients out there. Now, the big points, the big takeaways from yesterday's podcast were that you need to follow the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why, and how. Those are going to be the major important parts to talk about for a great press release. Now, taking that a few steps further, there's going to be 5 important aspects that you need to follow, and I'm going to refer through these really quickly. So watch yesterday's podcast if you want more information on why importance, timeliness, proximity, prominence, and oddity matter to not only getting the most exposure out of your press release, but also getting the most response from your potential patients. Now, if you follow these principles, you're going to get great coverage online, and you may even pick up actual news coverage from your local news station, which, Google absolutely loves when you get that kind of coverage and linking back to your website. So when I received this report from one of the top blogging journalism websites online, Proactive Reports, that was talking about the disconnect between what the media wants to report on and what corporate America and companies want to give, I knew I had to do a short little podcast on this to talk about it. So I've got a couple bullet points prepared here to kind of illustrate the major divide going on here. 83% of journalists say that images and media in a press release are important, compared to 38% of companies that actually provide any kind of media. 52% of journalists say that video is critical to have in a press report, compared to 13% of companies that actually put videos in a press release. And if you take that one step further, only about 38% of all corporate websites out there have video on them. So I look at these facts as a huge opportunity that's being missed not only by big corporations, but by dentists. What should your website have on it? You should have lots of before and after pictures, and not just pictures of the teeth, but pictures of the whole face. Patients don't want to see just the teeth. As a dentist, that's what you got into dentistry for, and you love the smile, but patients want to see the whole transformation. So give them the whole pictures of the face. And of course, video. You don't have to go far to find out how powerful and important video is to attracting the patients you want. Very few dentists have leveraged video to attract more and better patients. It's a huge gold rush right now. And, it's not even like the gold rush is starting. The gold rush has been going on for, 6 or 7 years now, since YouTube launched back in 2007 and 2008. Video really came into prominence in 2009 and 2010. And here in the past 3 or 4 years, more dentists have been picking up on how to leverage video, but nowhere near what I would consider mainstream yet. It's one of the topics I feel so passionately about that I wrote a book on it, which you can find on Amazon or via our website. Another very interesting statistic from this report is that only 15% of corporations actually feel like they're meeting the media's or newsroom's needs with the press release and the stuff that they're putting out. So the moral of the podcast is put out press releases, and when you do, make sure you're including a lot of media in it. Videos are a tremendous opportunity that not a lot of dentists out there are leveraging. If you want to differentiate yourself in the marketplace, use video. Before and after photos, all kinds of media, any kind of visual media is going to entice people. It's going to give them something more than just text on a page to look at. So how can you leverage this to attract more and better patients? Press releases with a lot of enticing media, pictures, video, links, references, sources. Don't forget the principle of prominence. Quoting somebody who's important, or even just quoting a dentist out of state and making them look important, can look very credibly back on your practice.